Cities Skylines 2 is not a bad game. Not at all. I know all the drama from the release and the bad reviews, but if we take a distant look from all the high expectations and what actually is in reality, I think there is a game with a lot of potential and a lot of things that just work really well. I know there are a lot of complaints about needing high-end PCs to run this. All the gameplay that you see in my videos is done on just a normal, not even top-of-the-line gaming laptop, so not even a desktop PC with great cooling. Sure, the vents run really loud, but I guess that's with any games. Also, the video you're seeing in the background is created probably in the cinematic mode of Cities Skylines 2, not by myself, but by the creator of the map I'm playing on. I will link that for sure in the description. Now, let's take a look at Cities Skylines 2, a gameplay with no negative thoughts in the beginning, and let's just play the game and see what happens. I hope you enjoy it. So, we just arrived in this very, very beautiful city. And now the first and actually very big question is where to put the first houses. In terms of development, I don't want to destroy them later on, so this front property isn't really the way to go right now. So I think I will actually start by going towards the hills. And that might mean that I have to flatten some terrain. I don't really want to start with that, but I think this is the only chance I have right now. So let's start by leveling some terrain to build some houses. We're going to respect the topography a tiny little bit back here, but let's start with that. So this here at some point will be a kind of a main street, and for the last bit, let's soften the terrain again, smooth it out a tiny bit. Okay, then let's start with our first houses. They will be somewhere in this area. And how can I upgrade? I think with this button. Yes. So let's already make this a wide street. Just so we don't have other zoning problems later. This will be our main street through the city for now. And then we are going to build a grid. Let's see how that would look. 112 to 112. Okay. But still the zoning looks a bit off. I'm not sure how this can be fixed. Maybe if we do some temporary lanes. So finally we have a perfect block. This took a while. So sure, there are some problems like this zoning, but I guess they only exist if you try to be very, very, very perfectionist. So yeah, let's try to do another block. Here it doesn't really work, but we can try to continue along this front here. I want to do 222 technically, but This looks fine as well, almost. So zoning is kind of annoying, but only if you try to do it very, very, very perfectly, which technically doesn't matter too much, but if you want to have a very, very beautiful world, then you have to do it the right way. So these are now all correct. This one's not working. So we change up the roads, so on. I will cut back once we have a very brief road layout and we can start zoning. So this is the first bit of my grid where the first people can move in, and we are actually going to do that. So we have waterfront housing and normal housing. Of course, nothing of this here is waterfront, so we are going to zone it normal. But let's get a normal view, and we are going to zone this much, just like that, and we are also going to start the timer so we can actually have people moving in, and let's see what they will do. Let's also wait for our first citizen. I wonder who will be the first person to move in. Let's wait for someone. So let's take a look. Some houses are finished. There is currently no one living here. I wonder when that will happen. So until then, we can also zone the first bit of commercial just around here on the main street. But people should be moving in quite soon. At least I hope so. Maybe they do need water. But water they should have. We just connect this up. This is a deeper water line. How about that? I think they're still not connected, so we need to grab them again. And now they do appear connected. So the water and sewage problems should be solved. Yes. And now there's only a problem of electricity, and we have our first resident. Let's see if he is already home. Probably not. Let's see. This person is waiting to arrive, but is not yet home. So let's get back to our place and wait for the first person to arrive. Let's just wait until he's here, and let's fix the electricity problem. For that, so we have electricity lines going here. We will... Let's see if we can just hook up to them. It doesn't seem so. But there are big electricity lines going here. So with a transformer station, we should be fine. The question is, where can I put the transformer station? And for now, this will have to be here, next to the railway. I will put it here. And now we also need the electricity cables. And let's try to have it go over here. And then all the way down to connect to these lines. This now means we do have electricity. And let's check back if we can find our guy. So he's currently arriving in a nice taxi, and of course we will add him. This is Kyle Riley, he's our first citizen, born in 2009. So actually, if this person was born in 2009 and it's 2016, he's 17. He's educated and employed and wealthy, so this guy actually made it. That's pretty dope. So while we wait until he arrives, we get back to his residence, and of course let's make it historical if there's an option for it too. I'm not sure if there is. Can we... I want to save it so it doesn't rebuild, but I'm not really sure how to do it. So for now, let's continue on zoning. Some of these people here will live in great places right next to the forest, which is really great. Let's keep as much of these trees here as possible. The natural vegetation. We don't want to ruin that. We get some houses here, so they are mostly built in the same direction. And let's get some people moved in towards the back here. Bit of smaller density because it's home in the forest. It won't be a really big home. Just a tiny bit. We don't want to increase the density too much here. So this is still a good place to be developed later on. So this is what we have for now. And just in a second we will zoom out and take a look. And at last we will fill up the commercial area here in the front so people can actually buy some stuff. Let's get it filled up. And let's see what happens. This already looks like a very nice small town. So let's speed things up and see how things develop around here. Now it looks like all their houses are built, and we have a really busy main street. So let's slow things back down and let's see what we have. So this is our original house with our original person, well, already having moved out as it seems. Where's our guy? Where are you at? You live here, Riley Kelly. But there's only Jerry Tucker. Tucker. Did he like marry and change? What's up with you? You live here but you're not here. Okay. So you're kind of a squatter, like a burglar. You just live there but are not actually registered here. I see how you're doing. Okay. But this is a very nice thing to start with. At some point at the end, we will probably have to worry about all of this traffic going through this main street here. But currently, of course, we can live with it. And I'm wondering whether these houses towards the hillsides here are fine. But probably they will be left like this. Maybe I can smooth out the terrain a bit. It's not doing too much, so then we will just leave it like it is. And now another problem that we have is somewhere we will have to build industry. And for that, maybe we should take a look at the wind. I'm not sure if this is possible here somehow. Maybe if we grab a wind turbine. Okay, the wind is moving towards the right in our screen. So the industry should be somewhere here towards the right. This is actually a tiny bit problematic because we want to expand towards the right. So I envision this being a tiny bit of a tourist area. So I might just build some industry over here just to get the first bit of the first level done, so we can buy the first development points. So I'm going to start my first tiny industry area around here. So we do the same thing as we did in the area prior. We are going to change this street to this main street. Let's try to do it very, very symmetrical. And we do it all the way. Okay, we have that done. Now let's clear up the ground a tiny bit, just so it has a uniform level. Let's make some space towards the back, not being too harsh with it. Just so it's a bit more uniform, so it looks nicer to build. And then we will send off a tiny street towards the back here. There are some slopes, apparently. So the street is actually higher than the buildings. I'm not sure if I want that. Let's actually fix that. So let's get rid of this street. And check for the heights that we're going to use. Have this all equal. And then we will get this street down, just so it's centered. This here is centered as well. That's how it's supposed to be. And now we grab our street, pull it out, just so we have some space back here. And actually there's not too much space for industry, but we will do the best we can, while also not destroying too much of the nature around here. So let's try to do it like this. Connect up here. And maybe we can even have a small cul-de-sac back here, which is probably not typical for an industry area, but these are the things that we are going to have to live with for now. And let's zone some of the industry just towards here. It won't be too big, but just to get something going. Maybe let's curve a street around here. And get it back towards the main street. Okay. Now there's just one last thing to do, which is bring this over here and destroy this very nice forest, but these are the things that will have to be done. Why does this turn into a bridge? Let's destroy the forest. I think for that there's also a tool which can be selected somewhere here. Okay, and now that these trees are gone, we can simply zone in all this area here with a bit more of the industrial flair. Just to get our economy going. Some smaller industrial areas back here. But that's what needs to be done. This will probably just be here, and then we will not expand it much further. Oh, they now got a dogberry. Okay. Interesting. And some people are already complaining that they want a hearse. That is of course not something we will have, and actually just with this small setup we are actually making profits. That's interesting, but in fact we're also not doing many things that could spend money. So let's just wait until this industrial area is being built, and then we should be quite close to the first milestone. I just decided to remove this one building because it doesn't really fit. We should be all zoned here to the inside. This will be way more natural. I guess also just more realistic. One other thing we could do is check if we have other streets. I'm not sure if there are some without a sidewalk. Don't think we have them currently, so not much we can do for now. But maybe we can put something on an alleyway. That might actually be another option. To just have this go towards the back here. And then put some more buildings on this alleyway. I think this actually makes a lot of sense. So this is what we have. Just got the milestone. Nice. Let's see what it gives us. It gives us a lot of stuff. We will check out in the next episode, but it's a very solid, playable game with a lot of excuses on a high level. You can complain about that street naming is difficult, or that like somehow these people randomly change names. But at the end of the day, if there wasn't a Cities Skylines 1, or if this was from a different developer, it would just be a really solid game. So I don't really see why to complain, and I have to say, I do enjoy it. If you enjoy it too, I would be really happy if you could check out the next episode as well. Write me some suggestions, ideally even what I should call the city. I will name it whatever the first commenter suggests, unless it's something very ludicrous. Unless, yeah, have a great day and bye bye.